Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. We're officially on day 4 of our high-stakes CIA Triad briefing, and today we're zeroing in on the second crucial pillar, integrity. So if you're joining us from our Cybersecurity Command Center, get comfortable, because today is all about data accuracy and figuring out exactly how we protect our digital truth from the shadows. Looking at today's mission dashboard, we're going to keep it moving. We'll cover understanding data integrity, why it actually matters, the security controls we use to enforce it, the real-world stakes, and finally, the consequences when it all fails. All right, let's jump right into part 1, understanding data integrity, the second pillar. So what are we really talking about here? Well, at its core, integrity means making absolutely sure that from the exact second data is created to the moment it's stored, archived, or sent across a network, it stays completely trustworthy. It's the active prevention of any unintentional or unauthorized changes, basically guaranteeing its accuracy over its entire life cycle. The golden rule you really got to remember here is that data has to remain accurate, complete, and completely unaltered. Now, obviously, we're not just freezing data in time, right? Data naturally changes as a business operates. That's just reality. But the key is that any modifications must be strictly tracked, and only authorized individuals or processes are allowed to make those changes. Even if the data structure shifts, the underlying truth of that data just has to stay the same. Moving right along to section 2, why this all matters and how it really comes down to trusting the system. Seriously, I want you to ask yourself, what actually happens when we can't trust our own data? Think about it. If the information in your systems gets corrupted or manipulated, how can a business make even a single reliable decision? I mean, if your banking app says you have $1 million or $0, how do you know which one is the truth without integrity? Maintaining that integrity is absolutely crucial because it guarantees our high-stakes decisions are based on real, accurate data. It gives us reliable business operations, trustworthy records, and way better decision-making. It honestly turns security into this powerful foundation for business reliability, rather than just some annoying compliance checkbox. You simply cannot have quality, reliable outputs if you're working with corrupted inputs. It's as simple as that. So how do we actually pull this off? That brings us to section 3, the security controls we use to defend the data. One of our absolute best defenses in the cybersecurity world is hashing. Security professionals use hashing algorithms, like SHA-256, for example, to generate a completely unique digital fingerprint for a file. And the crazy thing here is that if even one letter, actually, scratch that, if even one single byte in a massive document gets changed, that hash value changes drastically. It instantly exposes the tampering. It is literally a mathematical guarantee of unaltered data. Now, contrast that with digital signatures. A basic electronic signature is kind of just demonstrating an intent to sign, literally like typing your name at the bottom of an email. But a true digital signature, that uses some heavy-duty PKI cryptography to create a tamper-evident seal. It provides strict attribution, meaning we know exactly who signed it, and it absolutely ensures the document hasn't been tweaked since the moment that digital ink dried. Beyond signatures, we deploy something called File Integrity Monitoring, or FIM. You can think of FIM as this automated sentinel guarding your network. It's constantly watching your critical files and system binaries, comparing them against a known good baseline. This is huge because it allows security teams to instantly distinguish between harmful, unauthorized drift, like, say, ransomware secretly encrypting a file, and just routine, authorized IT updates. And to wrap up our controls, we have audit logs. These give us the ultimate accountability. They basically create a highly secure chronological digital trail that answers one very simple but critical question: who did what, where, and when? If a weird system change happens, the audit log is right there to ensure there are no ghosts in the machine. Let's bring this out of the command center and into the real world. Section 4, the high-stakes information we deal with every single day. Take healthcare, for instance. Under HIPAA security standards, keeping medical records perfectly intact isn't just an IT goal. It's legally mandated, and literally a matter of life and death. The law requires strict protection of health information against any unauthorized alterations. Because think about it, if a patient's blood type or severe allergy information gets altered in the system, the consequences are quite literally fatal. But hey, it's not just hospitals. Every single day, you're relying on these invisible integrity controls. They protect your online banking transactions, your entire medical history, your e-commerce payments, and all your digital contracts. You're constantly trusting that hashing, digital signatures, and secure networks are working tirelessly behind the scenes to keep your digital life completely uncorrupted.
Which naturally leads us to Section 5. What happens when it all falls apart? The true cost of corruption.
$6 billion. Just let that number sink in for a second. That massive, staggering figure represents the accidental sale of securities by Deutsche Bank back in 2015. And the cause? A massive data glitch. Completely flawed data in their trading systems led to a very real-world financial catastrophe. When integrity fails, the ripple effects are just catastrophic. We're talking about bad data triggering terrible algorithmic trading decisions and massive financial hits, like JP Morgan's $6 billion loss. It triggers severe regulatory penalties too, like HSBC getting hit with a $1.9 billion fine. And it absolutely destroys customer trust, like when a major IT failure at RBS locked millions of customers right out of their own accounts. All right, let's wrap this up. Day 4 summary, mission accomplished. So, just to quickly recap what we've covered today, integrity is the second pillar of the CIA Triad. It's the absolute guarantee that our data stays accurate, complete, and totally protected from unauthorized tweaking throughout its entire life cycle. And we enforce all of this using some brilliant tools like cryptographic hashing, file integrity monitoring, and digital signatures. I want to leave you with this really provocative thought straight from our source material. Without data integrity, why bother, friend? And it's a fantastic question, right? If you cannot mathematically trust the data sitting right in front of you, can you really trust your digital systems at all? Thank you so much for joining me in the Command Center for this explainer, and definitely keep your data safe out there.